Thanks for staying with us. And I like the narrative we're coming to, because I remember that this issue of the responsibility of Nollywood is something I've been discussing for years. I mean, I did a TEDx on this 2016, which focused on how Nollywood has a core responsibility to begin to change the minds of set of Nigerians. But it now comes to the point where government must begin to invest. I mean, just like you said, many of these shows, even LAPD, NYPD, these are all shows that were deliberate. So to give you a perspective of how powerful the American police is, I always use the example whenever I speak outside that the young kid in Oklahoma, in Alabama, is hoping to come to NYPD because he wants to become a police officer in New York, not in Alabama, because they're just having sheriffs with their hair and just like, you people that are just still catching cats on the tree. I want to go to where the real crime is, because somebody has painted a picture. So we need to continue. So the responsibility is on the government to lead the way. The people will eventually alive, because there'll be lots of Nigerians who will demarket based on their experience, and their truth is valid based on their experience. But somebody must lead the way. Now, the question is, are celebrities part of those who should lead the way because they've been privileged? Yeah. Or should they be allowed to even speak their truth because they also have family members who are still living in penury? So how do we gauge the responsibility to celebrities? Is it fair to say you must market us positively, or should we allow them to speak their truth because they also can relate to that reality?
Yeah. Okay, so Shega can go. So how many celebrities? Recently, what's his name? Bobby. Says his family is being relocated abroad, but Bobby works here. In fact, he's still on a show of comedy shows in Nigeria. I don't understand. We make our money here and give our family the dream. So should we spoil here where we make the money? No, I don't agree. If you are a celebrity and you're even Omoni's movies on YouTube are consumed more by Nigerians, even if she lives in Canada. And the truth is, not only her, Ellen Paul, all of them, they come back home here for their trade. They work here. They run their families. They're giving them the education they believe in because they don't believe in the one here. Doesn't mean that Nigerians don't grow here, that they are doing well. We had a lady movie producer who schooled here, and she's doing well. So we know, but don't you go out there and destroy home. You see, this is the same story now of our village people that we hated growing up. Because our mothers told us who wanted to kill us when we were babies. But how many of our village people, children that grew up in the village died? Are they not competing in the same companies that we are today? So see, this narrative has to stop. It just has to stop. And it's not about whether who is in president or who is not. Also, NOA, the Nigerian Orientation Agency, has a cartoon now. I don't know if you have seen it.
I've not seen it.
I have seen it twice. And I was shocked. To some young Nigerians cartoon, and there's a hero who is wearing who I think his name is in E, showing them to do the right things and all of that. And I'm the one still watching it. My children are consuming the one on the cable TV. They are not interested. And I'm saying, see, at the end of this movie, I think it was at the end of one you showed. So it's showing. But how much of it are we believing in? Because the graphics that we are used to is the abroad one. Also, the movie part that you mentioned, we talked about how a scene in a movie suggested corruption but solved the problem on the field. When we watch Shanti play Shanti whatever, our own movie, you highlighted corruption. At the end, they now wrote, after the expose, now wrote at the end, somebody went to jail. That's not how we combat it. If we must change mindset must be that the corruption exists, but it didn't happen in that movie. The solution is what we would highlight. An upright police officer who arrested even though he was offered money, an upright who was upright once. So that we will get to where we are looking.
You know, Nima, I'll come to you, Mariam, in a second. You know, it's so shocking that my children have never, cannot conceptualize a police officer that is functional, that is not corrupt. It doesn't exist in their world. A hospital that functions doesn't exist in their world because what they see, left, right, that's why even though I couldn't afford the hospital, I make sure they could see that hospital. So that this is Nigeria. This is the hospital we're going to be using. So they can see, because they saw a different hospital before. And they saw this one, and oh my goodness, this is nice. Looks really nice. I wanted to paint that picture for them. So they don't, to know that in Nigeria it is possible. I wanted to, if God gives me money, I want to fix the police station in this Nigeria to make it world-class standard. Take my child there. See, that's a proper police station. Because we need to begin to paint the right picture. But these guys, I tell you, I go to speak at universities. And the speakers before me, All they are doing is the marketing.
Denigrating.
And I'm wondering, and I get there, I'm wondering, because everybody, and the kids are like, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, these guys are consuming this as if it's fact. They are taking it in. So we, as a people, must equally take responsibility as we are saying. Come to Maria. 1 second.
You know, the last part you just said, let me start from that, which is the fact that sometimes we have people with platforms and people with influence that say these messages. And there's a thing that's going on now where they're saying that many people that should speak, you know, to motivate are afraid of being cancelled. So there's a new crop of people who have influence and platforms that understand the adulation that they get from people if they say some things. And we're so afraid to say something that people will not quickly grab us and hail us for. You know, there used to be a time when we had people that would speak truth, and I don't care if you like me or you don't like me, but this is the truth. And eventually they come to see that it's the truth. But many of us are too afraid. We want the follows, we want the likes, we want the hailing, because this is what people want to hear now. So that is why I call each and every one of us, where we have a platform. Remember, it's not just about us. There's a whole generation of people that we're bringing up, and there's a country that we're trying to change. But you know, you also asked the question about what do we now expect of celebrities? Should they never speak their truth or just speak what the government has forced them to? I don't think that that's what we're saying here. If you watch the American elections, you see celebrities coming to endorse either, or, you know. So they know, they endorse these people based on their own beliefs and their values and what they think these different parties hold. What we're saying is that they have to be part of conversations. They need to be aware of the policies. Government, when your entertainers or, you know, this group of people come to you, it's not to beg you for money. It's to know what is happening so that when they open their mouth, whether to agree or disagree is based on conversations that they have had and they understand. And then when you also see, and then you see them beyond the fact that they're just making money. They're bringing value to my country. They're bringing value to the image of our country. When you understand that, when you sit at the table with them, you understand the sort of conversations you have and the responsibilities that you want from them. So for all of us Nigerians, let me even use this Davido video especially. Davido is not unaware that he's an ambassador for the country. In fact, in this particular video, he mentions that as an ambassador, when I do some of my videos, I don't show some of the bad parts. So he understands it, but he understands it vaguely from this video. If he understood it, and if it was communicated to him, as we have just spoken, he will do a better job at it. And I feel that this is an opportunity that he has, you know, he's gotten some feedback. And for all of us, actually, all of us, wherever we find ourselves.
Yes. Okay, let me let you.
I feel that in talking about the solution, sometimes we put so much weight on the celebrities. Oh my goodness, it is a huge responsibility to shine in a country where there's a lot of seemingly darkness. But it's also an advantage in that because there's so much darkness, it's easy for you to shine. So you need to celebrities need to balance that responsibility that they carry. That, oh yes, the reason you are shining so much is because the darkness is huge around you, so you can stand out. And the responsibility and the weight on the celebrity also tends to come from the perspective of the fact that everybody feels the fact that they are known, they are very rich, and so they can solve all their financial problems. So the average celebrity is bombarded with financial bills, and the average celebrity, we're talking actors, actresses, artists, many of them actually do not have that money. TV presenters, they don't have that money. The money is not there. So we are looking at them thinking they are living the life, but they are actually in pain. Many actors will tell you how they have to be on set back to back, not sleeping, back to back. Why? Every small change they gather from each movie set adds up to their huge bill, which they need to pay. They are paying for to look that part. So there's a lot of things they are going through. Let's cut the celebrities some slack for the pain they are going through, while we are encouraging them to see that they are shining lights and they should shine the light positively on Nigeria.
Let's take
now,
a comment.
I want a budget from the Nigerian police force to sponsor movies and series. I think it is a responsibility they need to take seriously. You cannot, your PRO, the PRO for each state, the PRO for the nation cannot do what one movie or what one well-done series would do.
Exactly.
So the Nigerian police force needs to sponsor movies and support movies. Let movie producers be able to come and meet you and say, we want to use the police station. We want able to give us this, like give us permit, and they will not have to be using connection to get it.
Only
Support
if you are
them.
telling the right story. Because
Yes,
you not
support
come
them
and
with
ask
the
for-
right, give them the scripts,
Yeah.
so that
Well,
our
they are not
children
movie
can look
makers.
at the Nigerian police force in a movie
We have to
and
wrap-
aspire to become a Nigerian
Can I take
police.
some-
Okay, we have to wrap up because I have a few comments.
Can
I
I
want to
take
get
some?
to. I'll take one here
Let
from
me
Carol.
take this
Let me
one.
take Carol.
Today is Mr. Tunde Tijani's birthday. We forgot
Okay,
of
well,
Atlanta.
happy-
Elder brother to
To
our,
our
very own
engineer Tijani, yes.
Okay.
Happy
birthday,
birthday
sir.
to Mr. Tunde Tijani.
So
Today's
I
his
have
birthday.
a message from Kennedy. Kennedy says, can you even say Davido is going through anything? There are some of us who believe strongly in Nigeria. Nobody is saying he should lie, but do not disparage the country we are trying and praying to build. It shows he lacks wisdom. He should have used the same platform to call for innovations, ideas, and investors to come to our aid in Nigeria. What value has that statement added to the situation in Nigeria? Why is he not using the billions to come to the aid of Nigeria? Americans built America. Nigerians should build Nigeria.
Davido actually does quite a bit that nobody don't know about. Let me take this from Carol. She said the story of Nigeria is like a woman in an abusive relationship.
Ganga.
Would you advise the woman to continue smiling in pain and abuse? Many women in such situations have cried out and got help. So she's saying that we are crying out for help. But those that are calling out for help, they are looking for help in their own different ways. Because do you think America doesn't need help in one way? America has the largest debt portfolio in the world. So everybody has the help that they're looking for.
shooting up their babies in schools.
She also said that, Amura, you're able to take your children to a good hospital because you are privileged. Millions of Nigerians are living in abject poverty. Well, that's
But you
true.
also have to let them know that you built whatever privileges people think that you have today.
It wasn't
You
given.
started.
It wasn't handed
Yes,
over.
and it was here in Nigeria you started building. So
Let me take your
let me take Kenny. King Kenny says Davido is a brand on his own who sells mostly in Africa. If his brand was a US brand and he said this, the brand would have lost its sales by now.
Yeah.
TMO, you may be right, but most things mustn't be said just because we have a platform. Me says, well, the socioeconomic reality of Nigeria today is not one to paper over the crack like you and Miriam and Nima want us to patriotically gloss over. Davido lacks the moral high ground to stand on to make such a disparaging comment, being that he is a beneficiary of the system.
Again, I have to wrap up, but unfortunately, I think going back to that analogy I used concerning the American embassy, Nigerians know how to comport themselves wherever they find themselves. Yes, we can pretend that, oh, we're all unruly here, but when we go to certain places, we know how to comport. Once they enter that JFK, they comport themselves because you know that now you're in a different land. The same way we're saying that Nigerians, we understand you have the right to be who you want to be and speak your truth. What we're saying is speak it with a sense of responsibility and understanding what's at stake, both within and both now and in the future for our children. That's all we can take on today's show. Hope you've learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.